right, it is new radio day for the Tacoma. It's our 2013 standard cab, and we partnered with Dasaita to get a brand new head unit in there. It's got a lot of cool functionality. It's a 10.2 inch screen. I think right now I've got like a little 4 or 5 inch screen. Little small guy. We'll take a look at that in a minute, show you what we've got. But let's get into this guy and open the box up and take a look at what we have. I did go ahead and set a couple tools out. Clip remover, those are handy to have for the back. We're gonna need some pry tools to go ahead and get some of the plastic pieces off. And of course, a 10mm with an extension. You're always gonna need that to get in as well. Hopefully today we've got time to mess around with the backup camera. I don't know if we do with the light and how cold it's getting, but we'll see how that goes. So let's get into the box. Inside, user's manual, that seems handy. So, one of the things that I like about this unit is it says it's completely pre-wired, plug and play. So you don't have to wire up your own harness. You basically just plug this into the back, plug it right into the factory plugs. So, looking forward to seeing how that works. And then here, hey, look at that. It came with little pry tools. All right, so nicely packaged, more wire harness. There's a lot going on with this, so I look forward to getting involved with that part of it. But, oh wow, that's huge. Look at that. So we have a really big screen, a lot of functionality. It's gonna have a ton of touch screen. It's supposed to be really easy to use and a lot brighter than our regular screen. So here's the radio. We've got the harnesses. Like I said, backup camera. Let's go jump in the truck. We'll kind of see where we're at right now. And then we'll kind of dive into where we start. Okay, so the head unit that is in here is the original head unit from 2013. So good for the time, not really great now. Smaller screen. It's not like a touch screen swipe per se. You can hit it, but it's a little clunky. And then, you know, it does have a backup camera, but as you can see, that screen's kind of cracked. And at nighttime, you can almost not see it without any backup lights on. So we're looking forward to the new setup. This little 4.5, 5 inch screen is going to be a 10.2 inch screen with a lot more functionality. It's going to have Apple CarPlay, which this does not. I mean, it does connect via Bluetooth, but that's about as good as we get. So looking forward to pulling this out and getting the new one in, seeing how it all works. Let's get this car apart. Okay, as you can see, the radio came out super easy. We have quite a few connections on the back of this that I wasn't actually expecting. Plus you got this lower piece down here, which looks like it's gonna have to come out and get into the new radio. Plus we're gonna have to save these clips. The new radio didn't have these clips either, so we're gonna have to pull these guys off as well. So yeah, a little bit of work to do on this part. We're gonna have to reuse these brackets too, so I'll get these off of here and get them mounted on the new radio too. Okay, that took a little bit of configuring and playing with to figure out. There are 6 clips on the inside here. Gonna need a couple extra tools. In this case, a long flathead screwdriver will get you in there. And you're gonna have to put pressure on the front of it while you push. And this is what's gonna get your hazard assembly to release. See that? So that gets your hazard light assembly out, and then that's going to go into the new radio. So the other thing we're going to need to do is take these brackets off the side. So you've got both sides of these. They recommend in the instructions, I did read some instructions, to use their screws and not the Toyota ones that came with this. They're probably a slightly different depth, so you want to go ahead and use the same bracket. Make sure you get on the same side of the radio using their screws. And then also, once you're done with the bracket, we need to come around to the back. We've got all these retaining clips that hold it in on the back side here. You're going to want to get all 5 of those and stick those on the new radio too. So I'm going to rock through all that right now. There's a lot going on here. Okay, so we got all the bracketry on, we have all the clips on. Now you have to identify which of the harnesses goes to your radio. Now ours wasn't an exact match to any of these, but this number 4 over here has the most amount of things that ours has as well. So I'm willing to bet that's gonna be the right one. It says to go ahead and hook it up to the radio and then go in the car and start plugging harnesses in. So I'm gonna hook it up to the radio and then go start plugging harnesses in. That guy goes there. Maybe? Okay, so we have a Meso harness here. This is all the stuff that I believe will plug into ours. So I'm gonna start plugging plugs in here, and if it fits, it's the right one. If it doesn't, it's the wrong one. So, you know, pretty simple math when you're plugging stuff in. Just kind of match up. It's kind of like being back in school when you were a kid. You just match up the blocks. Look, you got one. Guy there, I've got, and then I'll know pretty quick too if I start running out of things that don't match up, that I have the wrong harness, and I'll have to grab one of the other ones. Because like right now, I don't know where that guy goes. Oh, that one looks like it goes there. I also don't want to force them if they're not going to go together. Kind of lines up, but not exactly. So I don't think that's that one, but it is that one. Okay, well, we're running out of light here, but I think I've got everything plugged in from the harness. I'm gonna have to kind of tuck everything in there to make sure it fits. So we're gonna do just a quick test before we put everything back nicely. Let's see what we got here. Oh. Looks like it's coming to life. I am in reverse. All right, so I had the car in reverse because it's a manual to have the stick out of the way. So I guess that makes a difference. All right, so we've got our home screen here. We have to set up our Bluetooth and everything. Turn it off for the night, and we're gonna pick this back up again tomorrow. Day 2, it is warmer slightly, and there's a lot more light, so you can see what we're doing. I went ahead and did a few things off camera. Went ahead and pulled the A-pillar off because we're getting ready to run the cable for the microphone for your hands-free Bluetooth. I did go ahead and run the cable all the way through to the back for the backup camera. Super easy. I just took the old cable from the old backup camera, taped it to the new cable, dragged it all the way through to the dash, and now it's in here. So one of the things I'm doing next is basically I have this big old zip tie here that I'm using as a feeder line, and went ahead and taped the jack for the speaker to it. That way I can just come over here and pull it down. Hopefully, maybe. See where it is on this other side. There it is. Okay, so we've got it hooked up to our little zip tie, or big zip tie here. It's one of those big air conditioning style ones. You see it coming down underneath, and then you just kind of want to, it might get hung up on a few things, so you don't want to pull too hard, but you definitely need to try and get it through the space. And then once you get it through, just pull it on down. And then we'll run it across the dash over to the radio up in here. Working on the reverse camera light, you need to tie into the reverse light. So I was able to use this little crimp style connector that jumps in the line without messing it up. For the positive lead, which is the turn on, tells the camera to turn on. And then I ran the second one to a chassis ground. So that just ties into the light right here. And then, since we've got the rig gate on the back, we were able to slightly modify their camera and mount it to the bumper. So I had to drill a little bit bigger hole, but it mounted right up. Moment of truth. I think I have everything that we're gonna use plugged into it. I've got to just tuck all these wires in here and get this guy to actually fit in the dash here. I mean, there's a lot going on wire-wise in here, but you know, it all seems to have a purpose and a home and a use. But I'm not gonna lie, there are a lot of wires. A lot of things, a lot of possibilities for what you can do with this radio, which is pretty darn cool. Okay, that's going significantly easier than I thought. Make sure the clips line up. Voila! It's in! That's a good sign. Booting up. Got radio. Okay, so here's the home screen, basically where the entire thing sets up. We went ahead and did a quick Bluetooth link. So we've linked our phone via Apple CarPlay. It does Android Auto, it does screen mirroring and a bunch of other stuff. We have Apple iPhones, so we're gonna use the Apple CarPlay the most. You can basically go into all of your standard apps. You can add whatever you want to it, but we're basically, you know, we've got our Spotify, so we can listen to our music, our podcasts, we've got our Google Maps, all kinds of stuff. So that'll be the main use. Our navigation we'll use through our phone. I think that's gonna be our primary use for the device. Audio-wise, it has a really incredible equalizer and sound output to it. So basically you can really tweak your sound. We don't have that many speakers in this car, so we're not gonna tweak it like crazy, but it has a really good sound output and a built-in amplifier. So the audio is really, really good. The other thing it's got, I'm not using it, but it does have the ability to tie in to a SIM card, and then you get a Wi-Fi network in your car. So you can have your own Wi-Fi network, which would enable a lot more of the features that it has. It also has navigation. Again, we're gonna use our iPhone navigation, but if we did wanna use it, there is an external antenna, and if I get froggy, I'll go ahead and install that when we're in La Jolla. Another thing we're gonna definitely use is the latitude, longitude, pitch and roll, north, south, east, west, aspect of this. This is going to be amazing for when we're off-roading. We're going to be able to know what our pitch is on the vehicle itself, and we're also going to be able to know what our front end down is from there as well. The screen does have an HDMI output, so this is a two-door truck. We don't really need any pictures or screens in the back seat, but if we did, we have a video output and we could run some screens in the back. Obviously, as you can see, the screen is very bright, which I really like, and it has a really nice daytime, nighttime mode, and the interface is pretty darn easy to use. I mean, you've got basically your general settings up top, you've got your home buttons, it responds to touch really well. We've got our Apple CarPlay, like I said, that'll be the most thing, and then we also have the backup camera, which I went ahead and set up. So we've got a nice good angle. Obviously we've got kind of the off-road stuff on the back, so that comes into your screen, but we have a really nice wide view of angle, and you can set up directional lines and things like that if you want as well. So all in all, it's a really nice big upgrade. It's a big screen, and we really like the way that it works. So